Vibes family. Welcome back. I am so glad you're here with me. If you do not know who I am Mayaka Anderson, the owner of Rooted Vines, a holistic health and wellness emporium where we offer natural products to align your mind, body, and your spirit so that you can live a more balanced and harmonious life, right? That's what it's all about. All right, you guys, if you could tell by the thumbnail, today we are talking about prayers versus actions. When faith alone isn't enough, right? What do you do when just believing and just having faith is not enough? Well, stay tuned because I got a little story and we're going to talk about this. But first, I'm going to hit you with a little commercial because we got to promote our products. So I will be back with you in just a moment. Okay, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that commercial. I'm learning that I have to plug myself. It's not about bragging, but it's trying to get my name out there. I've been doing our business opened up in December, and I'm really trying to get some traction, and it's been very difficult for us to do so. So I'm starting to put commercials in my YouTube channel. So I hope you don't mind. If you don't know what I do here, I talk a lot about self realization. I am big on dealing with self because that is the only way that you can change your trajectory. It's the only way that you can live the life that you desire to live is to deal with self. And so that is what this channel is about. If you do not know, I also do have a Facebook group and the Facebook, sorry, my husband. Facebook group, and on the Facebook group we talk more about health. We do DIYs on making herbal elixirs. We've done carrot oil, rosemary oil, and so we do a lot of stuff on that end. For my YouTube channel, I do plan on bringing more conversations here. I know if you looked last week, I believe I posted with Mentally Magnificent on dealing with traveling with trauma. So we will have other guests coming on, and I will do those specifically on the YouTube channel because a lot of those topics are going to be on self-realization. I do plan on having a few topics or conversations with guests on our Facebook group, and those will be more towards health, regulating health, questions about any type of DIYs or that sort of information, the health and wellness portion, and then YouTube will be more of the mental portion and dealing with self. Because we believe that you must align the mind, body, and spirit for you to live a balanced and harmonious life. If any portion of that aspect of yourself is off, you better believe that something in your life is off. All right, so we just want to pinpoint those things. All right, you guys. So we're going to get started on when faith and when prayers are just not enough. Okay, you guys. So the topic is when faith alone is not enough. I'm going to repeat it again so you understand. When your belief is just not enough, what do you do then? We grow up in a realm where we are told to pray about everything. We are taught to pray, we are told to pray, but no one talks about putting prayer together with action, right? Faith without works is dead. You can't just pray things away. You have to align yourself in a position where you can receive the things that you are seeking, right? You have to become what you are seeking. And I think that a lot of people get lost in this, right? They think they don't want to do the work. And we will talk about why people would choose not to do the work if you're guaranteed the results, right? I always wondered this. Like when I started on this journey, there's things I put in place. And as I put them in place, I saw things changing in my life. And it got really exciting because I finally realized that I am the captain of my own ship. I can create the atmosphere that I want. I can create the feeling and the space that I desire to have within this realm, right? You can create your own little bubble, your own little world. And I know people are like, creating your bubble, you're kind of cutting yourself off from certain probably experiences or certain people or whatever. But I found that not to be true. I keep a very tight lid on my bubble, and I still travel. I still meet people. Um, and I still do the things that I want. The difference is that all of the people that I meet, all of the places that I go are aligned with what I want to do. So I don't let the waves toss me to and fro. I don't let the waves dictate where I go. I believe on ships or boats, maybe, and I could be wrong because I don't know nothing about ships or boats. But like the rudders, you put them in the water and you tell it where to go. No matter what the waves are doing, you still can steer the ship, right? And so that's what I really want to talk about is about you being able to take control and um, make sure that you get to where you want because you should have a goal in mind, right? You should have like a destination that you want to land on. Because if you don't, then you are someone who is being tossed by waves. You're just accepting whatever may come, right? And again, I have my notes because I want to make sure that I stay on track and I make this make sense. If it hasn't so far, okay? So when we talk about prayer, um, people use prayer, I think, as a scapegoat sometimes. Um, we pray and we pray and we pray. I've seen people pray in church, and some people pray about the same things and been praying about the same things for 5, 6 years and nothing has happened because you refuse to move your feet. You refuse to let things go that needs to let go so that blessing or whatever you're praying for will come in. And a lot of us, we don't know. Um, Sometimes it takes sacrifices. Sometimes it takes heartache to get you to where you are trying to go. In my case, I feel like I was always praying and I was moving and doing things, but my actions weren't bad. They just weren't lining up with the things that I wanted, right? So sometimes prayer can be answered because you are moving your feet. Even if you're moving in the wrong direction, something will come and knock you into the right direction. But when it has to do that, it's not pretty, right? There's a lot of heartache sometimes. There's loss of friendships sometimes, maybe marriages, because you put yourself in a position that you should have never gone in. And sometimes we do that unintentionally because you think that path you chose will get you to where you want to be, right? You think that vehicle is going to get you there, but it's taking all these routes and different things. And while I'm praying and I'm moving in this vehicle, I don't realize that my prayers are being answered, but for them to be answered, I have to be knocked off this path, right? I have to be put on a whole nother corrective path. And that's loss of time. And like I said, it can be heartache, it could be loss, all kinds of things just to get you back on the right path. A lot of us really need to just start praying for guidance in the beginning before we make a decision so that we never have to be knocked off of that path, right? So, what realizing that prayers without action is really, or prayers without action, faith with no action, however you want to put it, it really makes you delve into the gap. What is the gap? Why aren't their prayers being answered and why aren't people taking actions on their prayers, right? So it just really makes you think of why you would pray for something that you're not actively pursuing. So we're really good in this realm, in this place where we talk a good game. A lot of people talk a good game, but they never move towards what they're talking, right? Or they talk a good game and you look at their life and it doesn't resemble anything of what comes out of their mouth. Right there's a disconnect, right? So we have to find what is that disconnect. So that's what we're going to talk about. But before I do, I really want to give you a story um, that I was thinking about. I made the story up, so I hope it makes sense. I was trying to put it at layman's terms, but so here's the story. You have Sarah, and Sarah needs a mailbox, right? She needs a mailbox. Her other one is corroded, and the post is kind of dissolving or whatever from the weather. And she decides she wants a mailbox. But this is the thing. Sarah goes to a hair salon, a barber shop, coffee shop, um, dress shop, any shop um, that doesn't have or sell or mailboxes aren't their focus, right? She's going everywhere and she's going there and she's asking for a mailbox. And the more she goes to these places, the more set she gets because nobody has these mailboxes, right? So that's part of the problem, avoiding the solution. Sometimes we go right into prayer when the solution is right there, right? How hard is it? A lot of us know where we could and where we couldn't get a mailbox. But some people will go to destinations that do not have what they're looking for and get upset when they don't get what they need. Not really realizing these places, these people can't give you what they need because that's not what they specialize in. Why are you there? But a lot of us want to avoid the situation. So we will go to different people that we know ain't got the answers, different places. We know they're not going to be able to serve us in this area, but we will do it anyway, wasting time, right? So Sarah comes across a friend, and the friend suggests that she goes to, why don't you go to Lowe's? Why don't you go to Home Depot? These places, they have mailboxes, They may not specialize in it, but they have an area that can get you started and get you a fresh new mailbox. They got people who understand what you need. They know what aisle it's in, all of that, right? Um, Sarah hears Michael. It even makes sense in her heart and mind, and yet she hesitates. Why? Why would you hesitate? Because most people really struggle with, I really have a need. Like, this is really real. Like, it's like looking at yourself in the mirror and be like, is this really happening? This is happening. I have this issue. Um, and you have to realize that you're avoiding it and your friend brings it to your attention. And the fact that you would hesitate, you know where you can go to get the help, and you hesitate to do what needs to be done to get the solution across, right? So, Sarah decides, I don't know if I want to take that time, nor that effort, or convenience to go there, Mike. I just don't know if I'm ready for the Lowe's and Home Depot, right? The struggle of admitting your needs, right? We all go through that when it's something critical in our lives, when it's something we really need to address and face. So, what does Sarah do, right? What do you do now? So, what do you do? So, Sarah is, she becomes a little selfish, right? Um, she doesn't really want to do the work herself. I'm sure she's thinking like, Mike, why don't you just volunteer to go to Home Depot for me, or Lowe's for me? It seems like you know what they have, you know how this system works. Um, why don't you do this for me, right? Because we have these selfish desires, um, these needs we want to be met, but we don't want to do the work to meet them, right? We don't want to solve our own problems, right? And so I'm sure Mike is looking at her like, chick, I got my own errands to run. I've told you where to go. I've given you the resources. Why won't you take them? This will help you cut down on time and agony, get your mailbox and move on to something else, right? But Sarah, she don't want to do that. She just doesn't want to do that. So Sarah goes along, and over time, she meets other people who are seeking solutions just like her, right? You got somebody who's looking for maybe a birdhouse, right? You got somebody who's needing to replace their AC unit. You got someone looking for a wedding dress. Whatever they are looking for, she is bumping into other characters, other people out there who have issues, who also are looking for solutions. So she goes back to her friend Mike, and they have a good conversation, right? And he comforts her, um, and talks to her about her selfish tendencies and the necessary actions she must take. So, in this, we're confronting selfishness, and then we need to make a turning point, right? Because Mike is bringing this into her face. He's putting the mirror up there and saying, look, This is you. And this is what's going on with you. And this is what I see. And I'm your friend. And I don't want you to continue to go out here on this journey and not get what you're looking for, because what you're looking for is uptown and you all the way downtown somewhere. Right? So let's work on this. All right. Um, so then Sarah finally admits, well, yeah, uh, I have some problems. And I'm having problems looking at myself. I'm having problems dealing with some turmoil within me. And so it frightens me to go to Lowe's or Home Depot, because I really would have to deal with myself. Because in Home Depot and Lowe's, there's not only mailboxes, but there's other tools to help you fix your issues, right? And you might get caught up in seeing a lot of issues that you have. And now, not only do you need a mailbox, but you need a key to your front door now. You need locks for your windows. Like, you realize that this place is going to offer you a lot, but it's also going to make you see yourself for who you truly are, right? All of this is metaphorical, okay? I'm trying to get somewhere. I hope that hope this is making sense like I want it to. Um, I don't know. But finally, Sarah says, "Oh, okay, I'm going. I'm going, right? I'm going to go." Um, and she goes to Home Depot. She goes to Lowe's. Um, and in this Lowe's and Home Depot is self discovery. She's going up and down, ooh, honey, up and down the aisles of self discovery. Um, she's learning to navigate herself, her emotions, her feelings, um, and coming full blown with herself on why she's feeling the way she does. Why does she do the things she do? She's starting to break down each feeling, each emotion, each decision that she has made as she goes down these aisles going to the mailbox. Because like I said, they have lots of tools. And sometimes you don't even know you need something until you see the tool and you're ready to see yourself for the first time, right? It's scary, right? So she is preparing herself for growth, and now she has a resolution, right? She returns home. She has a new mailbox. Nobody died, right? Some things might have been cut off on her journey, right? Some friends, some people, some spaces might have been cut off. But she made it home with her new, brand new mailbox, her little stake that you put the mailbox on, and it looks good, honey. It looks so good that a lot of people didn't even realize she still lived there. Like, they thought they had new neighbors, or they thought their friend had moved, because just that mailbox dressed her environment up just that much that people weren't sure who they were dealing with anymore, right? That's that self growth. That's that self love. Um, People may be like, "Oh, I remember when you had that, broken down mailbox. Oh, you looking good now. You got the new mailbox. Now you too good for me." All of that. Yes, yes, I've done the work. I am too good for you. Yes, it's okay to say yes. Yes, I've done the work. I got the new mailbox. Yeah, the old one has been put to pasture. I've dealt with self. I've dealt with my emotions. I've dealt with my traumas. And I see clearly now who I am, and I'm entering into a phase of self love, right? Um, it is so important to have self love, humility, and courage when you deal with yourself. We want to say that you need all of these things when you deal with other people, but we rarely talk about what we need for ourselves. So I talk about this to talk about for you. I pray that you have the courage to deal with yourself. I pray you have the resilience to deal with yourself, because this is where the true work comes in, where you pair it with prayer. You pray for that guidance. You pray for what you're seeking for. Um, and you pray for the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding of it all, right? But we keep moving. You never stop moving, even though you're praying, because um, as you pray, you're recognizing, right, the Most High and the power. And as you believe and pray, you move your feet. So that is the belief part. Like, if I'm praying and I'm just sitting there, do I not believe that you will do it? Do I not have a part to pray in that thing that I'm asking for? It's not just going to manifest. Now, sometimes it can. Now, I've had stuff manifest real quick on me off of a prayer. But most of the time, you have to do some type of work. And we have become a lazy society. And like I said, people use prayer as a scapegoat, right? If it doesn't come true, well, I guess God didn't want me to have it. Don't put this off on God. Don't, let's not do that, right? You don't want to do the work. You're lazy. Um, you feel like some people feel like they're better than and they don't need to do the work. Somebody's shopping for someone else to do the work. Whatever it takes, as long as it comes, and I don't have to lift a finger, right? That's what a lot of people feel. Um, but there are other reasons why people avoid, and I'm going to go down a list that I have, why they avoid taking action, right? And one of those is the our mindsets and the comfort we have in prayer. Like I said, a lot of us that pray, we've been praying since little, right? They've been telling us to pray before you even knew what prayer was. Nobody really explained what prayer was. And most of us thought it was like rubbing a genie and pops out, and you just ask, and ask for stuff, right? And prayer doesn't work like that. But a lot of people, even adults, use it as such. So, a lot of people will take solace in their prayer. It makes them feel comfortable, like they have done something to solve their issue. I prayed. And in that, they take comfort and they go no further. And they will continue to pray and continue to pray. Um, the thing with that is that whatever you need to let go of for that prayer to come in, you're not going to do. You know, who's ever husband you sleeping with, you're not going to stop. Whatever drug you're taking on, you don't plan on leaving it alone, but you want all these things to come in. You want your children to do better, but you don't hold them accountable for anything, right? You still give and become an enabler. You want to lose that weight, but McDonald's is looking mighty good over there. I'm just going to keep praying, right? That comfort. I prayed, I did something. Another reason we have that void in prayer is fear, failure, or rejection. This is a big one because a lot of people fear failure and rejection. And I think it's because we're taught failure and rejection wrong. You know, you go to school, you get these grades, your teacher give you A, B, C, D, E, F, F, you're failing, right? But they don't really talk about the failing is telling you where you need help at, right? So we can have a discussion. So if you're not passing this, where's the disconnect, right? So that we can we can become successful. Even people in business, people who have run for president or whatever, have failed and failed and failed. And what they do is they learn, oh, this is what not to do next time. That's all it is. What not to do. And understand you're not going to get 100%. You're not going to be perfect on everything. But just the understanding that it's not an end all be all with rejection. And who cares who sees you, right? Because as many people sees you fail, it's going to be double or triple the people that see you succeed. And one thing that they can say is about that is that you have tenacity. You did not give up when things got hard. And that is what this life is about. That's what this realm is about. Despite what you may say, despite what you may think about me, I still can come on top. All things are possible, and all things come together for the good of the spirit, right? That is what this is about. So sometimes we have to put aside our egos, our pride, right? And say, okay, I'm going into this new aspect of self, and I don't know everything because this is new. So yeah, I'm going to fail at some things. Go in already understanding that you're not going to get it right the first time. And it's okay not to get it right at the first time. When we first started walking as babies, we probably fell a million times. And guess what? It didn't stop us, it didn't deter us, right? We kept going until we were able to walk. Riding that bike, totally scary, right? You take off those training wheels for the first time, terrified, heart is beating, you're not sure what's going on. And you might have fallen off the bike, or someone had to come aside you and hold the bike, right? But sooner or later, you became like a beast on the bike. You out there racing other people, you out there turning handlebars, you even know how to ride the bike with no hands. But it took time, and you had to overcome whatever fear of falling, scraping up your knee that you might have had to become successful in that area. So failure is good. It shows you what to do next time, what not to do next time, right? So that's uh, something that we do have to learn to embrace, because anything new, you it's very rare someone just jumps out the box and be like, boom, first try, I got it. So do yourself a favor, give yourself grace. Understand that these things are just, um, a lot of these things are new and we have to figure them out, right? So prayer, but move your feet. Next is the lack of clarity. Sometimes, and I fall into this, if I'm really not sure what to pray about, I don't pray like asking. I pray in thanking and gratitude for what has already been given, right? Then I ask for solutions, or guidance. If there's a way that I need to go, please just show me, guide me in that way, and thank you for your guidance, right? Some people don't know what they're looking for. They just pray to pray. They don't understand or know or quite grasp the answers that they're seeking, right? You need a sense of direction. And that's why I said that you need goals. You need to have a vision, to help you. I'm so sorry. To help you get to wherever it is you want to go, because you do not want to be a passenger in a lonely ship, letting those waves rock you back and forth, because that's when things get really dicey, because life out here be what? Life in, honey. And them waves can overtake you or take you to a desolate place or whatever it may be, and you will find yourself heartbroken, lonely. Um, some people in prison, in the hospital, sick. I mean, these waves are no joke. You have to have a destination. You have to know what you want your life to look like, what you want it to feel like, the kind of people that you want to enter it, the kind of places you want to visit or live in. You must know these things. And you know, you must be specific. People tell you all the time, when you pray, be specific. Don't just say you want a car. Say, I want a Chevy, honey. I want it black on black with 22s, love, right? I want the newest stereo system. I want the bass to shake my heart when I sit in the seat, right? That's what I want. Automatic windows. I want me two sunroofs. I want the back of the truck to be covered. I want a stair step when I get in. I want the cell phone charger in the armrest. You have to be specific about what you want. And then you must visualize it. And then on top of visualizing, you must feel what it feels like to be behind that wheel, right? See yourself looking out that windshield. See yourself picking up your friend or your parents for lunch. Feel what it feels like to back it in, right? Looking back it into that parking space. That's what you need when you pray. You must have a sense of direction. You must have a feeling, right? And you must be geared towards, because I can't sit here um without a job. Now sometimes this happens. People win the lotto, whatever. But I'm talking about the umbrella. Let's get this clear. Um with no job, just praying these things will happen, but I'm unwilling to invest in myself. How am I going to ask the Most High to invest in me and I won't invest in myself, especially since the Most High has given me everything I need, right? The supply never ends. So, what am I doing? What are we doing out here? Another issue that got people messed up is luck, fate, and chance, right? There's no such thing as luck, fate, or chance. All things happen with a purpose and for a reason, because that's how the Most High works. He ain't got time for you out here rolling dice, trying to see what life is going to bring. Like I said, the only way that happens, and this is not by chance, because you make a decision not to steer your boat, right? So you're out here and the waves are just tossing you and it's sending you where you want to go. Not because of luck or chance, is because you have made a choice not to steer your boat, right? Because if you steered your boat, you wouldn't have a problem with the waves tossing you through and forth. If you had a vision and a goal, you wouldn't have an issue about that. But since you chose not to steer your boat and you have given your power over to the waves, all things are now willy nilly, right? So there is no luck, there is no chance. As you drop a pebble in a lake, a river, or ocean, you see that it expands, right? It expands. Every choice you make, there is a consequence, whether it be good or bad. And you must realize that you have to pay that consequence, whether good or bad. And if you haven't paid the consequence yet, just keep living because consequences can come a year later, 5 years later, 10 years later. And it doesn't have to be just you. Consequences can affect your family. And this is something I always try and tell my daughters. Just because you make a decision, understand your decisions, certain decisions can affect the whole family. I think about the poor families that have children who have gone into schools and taken lives. Um, Poor families that have had people drunk driving behind the wheel and took a life. It doesn't just affect that person who did that action. This family still is in the neighborhood. Their name and your name, because they're attached or on TV, right? They have to deal with. I have a child who went out here and took these lives. Like, how do you come to grips with that, right? So our decisions also play a role with the rest of the family, with the rest of the community, with the rest of the neighborhood, with the rest of the world sometimes, right? As we saw with George Floyd, the decisions those cops made had a worldwide platform. They knew these cops' names. That means they knew their families. That means they knew other cops that worked with. It just keeps going on and on because guess what? They go to grocery stores. They got a barber. They got, people have opinions and now they're going to state their opinions, whatever it is, good or bad, but you are affecting other people who had no choice in what you did. So choices always come back. And sometimes they don't always come for you. As we talk about karma, sometimes they come for those that you love. So we have to be really careful in what we decide to do and understand not making a choice, honey, is making a choice. All right. So cultural and religious ceremonies. This is another problem people get hung up on, right? Um, Prayer is emphasized and is emphasized as a very powerful tool, which it is for seeking help and support, right? Um, But a lot of people think that's the only way you can go about it, right? They don't understand that they also are a powerful tool. And if you team one powerful tool up with another powerful tool, boom, you got a powerhouse. I love the powerhouse. When I talk about health and wellness on my rooted vines, I always pair herbs and oils together. That's going to be a powerhouse. I'm always pairing things together that they kind of do the same thing, but on a next level so you can get the most bang for your buck. Prayer, action, boom, powerhouse, right? Add emotions. Ah, you're doing some things, right? So we got to be careful in religious settings because depending on your religion, depending on what's going on, it can really halt the way um, you send your prayers and your prayers are received and the answers that you get. This next one is a big one, and I talk about it on this channel all the time. So this next one is comfort and familiar, right? People love the familiar. They don't want to be uncomfortable, not for 1 second. Um, if they have been praying a certain way and not moving, they get really comfortable in that. They get comfortable not taking action, stepping out of the comfort zone. Um, they're going to do the bare minimum because this is what has always been done. And who am I to change the trajectory on how prayer works? This is how my church has done it. This is how my mother has done it. This is how my friends have done it. Whatever, whatever. I can't rock the boat, right? A lot of people get caught up in comfortability, if that's a word. I don't know. I just be talking. Um, Not only in prayer, but just in life, period. People are scared to step out of the box. They think if they put a toe out, the world will explode, like war will break out. Honey, ain't nothing gonna happen. And most of the time, most people ain't even gonna know you stepped out the box until you are all the way out the box, right? Um, so I think being too comfortable in this world is about learning, lessons, experiences. You got to get out of the second grade sooner or later. Just because you know the curriculum and you're a straight A student in there, of course you're going to be a straight A student. You haven't challenged yourself to be anything but. You've been in second grade your whole life. When are we going to move? When are we going to graduate? When are we going to learn some new curriculum in this world? So we have to stop being comfortable, right? And then fear of change. Same with being comfortable. What is it that people, I love change, honey. I think I probably love change too much. I know when I was in my early 20s, I moved like every year. Like I have billions of addresses. Because in my mind I would be like, "Ooh, what would it be like if I moved across town? What would it be like if I lived in an apartment? What about a duplex? What if I rented a house?" I was always thinking, what if I moved to a new state, a new country? Always willing to change. Whatever it was, I'm willing to do something new that I haven't done before because I was thinking, and I think this today too. If I do something new that I haven't done before, it might bring me something that I've always desired that I didn't even know could happen, right? What is this path? Where is this path going to take me? It's very exciting. Now, I will say it's very scary, but it's very exciting. So when I do things, I do it. Number one, I'm scared to death. But number two, I'm terrified if I don't because I feel like I'm missing out. And so I jump right in. Now, sometimes I shouldn't jump right in because I'm not someone who is very stable. Like my husband's very analytical, A, B, C, D. If E goes wrong, he knows he did D. He can go back correct it, or maybe it was at C, and then he can start over. Me, I'm at AB12.487ZQR. So when I mess up, I have no clue when I messed up or where I messed up. And I'm just like there, right? I'm just like, okay, it didn't work out. And sometimes I will scratch the whole thing and start all the way over. Or sometimes I'll try and think of what I perceived as gone wrong and then try and start from that point. I can't say it always works out, but honey, it's always worth it. And you have to be able to laugh at yourself, if nothing else. Because if I couldn't laugh at myself, I'd probably be crying all the time. But I find myself pretty hilarious most of the time. So, the last one I would say is the dependency on others. Not only I don't want to just say dependency on others, but those who enable also. Big problem, especially in families. Um, but friendships have it too. Um, they're pretty bad. People like Sarah, the girl in the story, they look for people to solve them problems. And the funny thing is that you have people out here who that's all they do. They think that's their life goal. Their might is to help people solve their problems. The thing is, if you get a person like Sarah who is not healed, they will continue to come and they will continue to drain you because they know that you feel like that's your life mission. And so they are going to help you exceed that and above, right? You're never going to be able to really help too many other people because Sarah's going to take all your time, right? And then you're going to have other people who grab your time too because you're so open and saying no is so hard, right? And I don't want to be selfish and they really need it. But nobody asks questions like how did you get in this position? What is your mindset and where are you trying to go? And once you get there, what is it going to look like? Now, if you were to ask that, you'd walk off. Sarah walked off from Mike at first. Like, I don't want to hear that. Like, I ain't asked you all that. I just asked, could you give me like half my rent? I just asked, could you pay my light bill? Like, why are we having this deep conversation? The conversation must be had because if they are not realizing what they're doing, and even if they are, at least you can let them know, I realize what you're doing. And this door ain't going to be open forever. Matter of fact, I'm going to shut this door right now because those who are asking, they always got an attitude when you ask them a question. Like, what? Like, why are you in my business? Because you trying to be in my wallet? Do I not have the right to ask you what's going on? What you doing with this money? People are pretty bold and pretty courageous when it comes to depending on others. And a lot of people who depend on others don't pray at all. They're not seeking anything except for your money, your time, your energy, your advice, so they can just push over into the trash because they ain't finna take none of that, right? Um, so enablers, empaths, you have to be conscious of what you're doing because you play into the narrative of this problem. Because if a lot of people could say no, if a lot of people could just shut the door in someone's face, not pick up that phone call, not only is your life more at peace, you will force them to get out here and do what it is that they need to get done, right? You will push them into a corner and don't feel bad about it. And sometimes, let me say this since we're talking about prayer. Sometimes you need to get your meddling hands out of people's business so the Most High can take care of that person the way they're supposed to. A lot of times they're out here on the street doing this stuff for a long time because they got a whole community of enablers holding them up. Let them drop because the only person they should be depending on is the Most High. And if you are saying you believe in the Most High, and yet you want to solve someone else's problem, you're the problem. Get your hands out the way. Take your hands off them. You want to do something? Pray for them, right? Until they learn to pray for themselves. And I know I said prayer and action. That is for you, not for them. You pray and then you take action on them. Sometimes you got to leave that alone. You're doing too much. Let it go. They're going to be all right. If they want the waves to take them, let the waves take them. If they're out there, maybe they'll learn that they have oars, that they have a rudder, that they have a wheel, that they can steer their boat into a different direction if they no longer want to be where they are. The problem is they love being where they are. They absolutely love it. And they're not looking for a way out. So we have to be conscious of that, right? We have to be conscious of that. So I say all this, y'all, to say it is so essential to understand that prayer and actions are, again, a powerhouse. The prayer, it helps with emotional support and spiritual support, right? Because we need that mind, body, and spirit. I believe in that. But coupled with actions, putting one foot in front of the other while you're praying, because you can pray at any time, meditating on those good things, right? At any time, and still moving will help you with your challenges, and it will help you pursue your goals, because not only are you praying it but you're believing it, and you have to believe it if you're moving in it, right? You wouldn't move in anything you don't believe in, right? So you're moving in that. So your mindset has to be clear. That's why you have to have the vision. That's why you have to have the goal. um, this encourages a balance in your life. Again, I'm about balance and harmonious ways. Got to live that life, right? um, so that you can take proactive steps to empower yourself, to activate the powers that have been given to you before you even entered in this realm, to activate and to be able to obtain the supplies that are in the other realm. You must be able to go up, reach, and pull down, right, into this realm. If you've never seen that, movie, I'm going to get the title wrong. Anything, everything, everywhere, something, I don't know. About the Asian young lady who is married, but she's not happy with her life. She's running a laundromat. Her husband seems aloof and not helping. She has these dreams. Her daughter is out here just doing what she do, right? Um, and then through the movie, she finds out that there's different versions of her in different realms, and that she's able to pull from those realms certain gifts that they have to help her in her own realm, in her own life. And it's a wonderful movie because it's dealing with exactly what I'm talking about. That you have these powers that are in you. You are a powerful being. The Most High said you are a powerful being. And yet we don't act on it. We're always asking, we're always begging, but we never go inside to see what has been buried in us that we can use and bring up now. We never ask what I can pull from the infinite supply that I can use to make my life better. Right? We are just here begging, asking, crying, pretending we are these weak beings. The Most High didn't make any weak beings. Let's get our minds right. We are strong. We are intelligent. We are the salt of the earth. So why are we continuously saying the opposite of what Most High has already called for us? And why are we accepting it for other people and willing to help them in their journey of foolishness when the Most High did not call for that type of journey? Dust your shoes off, honey. They ain't gotta hear what you putting down. They don't want to change their life. Leave them where they are. Let the dead bury the dead. But it's time for us to live in hope, in peace, in love, and in unity. And if that is not where your mind is, if you are stuck on this color divide, if you're stuck on this political divide, if you're stuck on this man woman divide, masculine and feminine energy divide, you are doing yourself a disservice, because none of that has anything to do with the Most High has created us to do. I've never been to a gas station and they say, I don't want your green because you're brown. They take your money, right? That economic thing. We are all in the same boat. I don't care your gender, your color, whatever. It is the rich versus the rest of us. And until we begin to understand that, we will still be in the same boat. And I know you're saying, what does this have to do with prayer and the void of action? You need to know what to pray for. You need to understand that this realm is after your spirit, in your mind, in your physical body. And they'll do anything to obtain that. And we have to shut the door to the foolishness, even in our prayers. We have to be whole and we have to live out what we believe. If you are praying, you must believe with your whole heart. And for you to show that you really believe, you must be able and willing to move your feet towards those things. You may not always have the blueprint, but if you ask for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you will get the blueprint. You will be pushed in the way. Eat properly. Let your discernment guide you also. You are not in this alone. You do have choices. You have avenues and paths that you're allowed to take. So do that which is right. And let those who choose to go the wrong path go the wrong path. Everyone is not going to be saved. Everyone is not going to recognize the consciousness that we have as one unity. Everyone does not understand the polarity and the natural laws of order. And some of them do understand, and they're fighting against it. This is not your battle. Every person has an individual war going on. And you're either going to decide if you're going to be on the winning side or the sinking side. You have the power to create. You also have the power to destroy. So think about that and look around at your life. What is it that's going on? What is it that you don't like? And then figure out within yourself how you can change it around and fix it. And be okay with losses. Be okay with failure and rejection. Because when you do this self-work, it's coming for you, baby. But once you let down your guard and say, it's okay. I just learned I couldn't go down that road. Block it off. It's okay. I just learned I couldn't accept these type of people in my life. Block it off. Be okay with who you are inside. Continue to do that work. Continue to commune with the Most High. Continue to pray. But please, whatever you do, when you pray, move your goddamn feet. All right, y'all. So I am out of here. I love talking to you. This is going to be a little uploaded late, y'all know, because I went to Vegas. I'm going to have to post some stuff about that. Went to Vegas to celebrate my dad's 70th birthday. Had a wonderful time. So blessed that we were able to bless him and to be there when he turned 70. Amazing. Just amazing. So I will probably do a little segment on that once I get all the pictures in. But I want to let you know that I love you. I pray that peace is in your life. I pray that whatever you are seeking in this realm, that it is also seeking you. I will see you next Sunday. Rooted Vines. Oh, wait, maybe next Sunday. I'm not really sure. We have a family member who transitioned, so we're going to say our goodbyes. But I'm going to do what I can. Maybe I can do another video and upload it for next Sunday and I don't have to worry about it, okay? I'm trying to keep myself accountable. Thank you for keeping me accountable. Follow us on Facebook, Rooted Vines. Follow us on Instagram, Rooted underscore Vines underscore LLC. And make sure you check out our online website, right? www.myrootedvines.com. And y'all, we have an Etsy shop, so please check out our Etsy shop on Rooted Vines. I will see you hopefully, prayerfully next Sunday. All right, y'all. Peace out.